Hey everybody, this is Squid Vicious here with another Vicious video. I wanted to show you another accessory that I purchased that I wanted to go ahead and share. If you remember, or if you haven't checked yet, I did do a video on this cigar humidor and ashtray set that was made by King's Palace. And what was really nice about it that I really liked is that it had a coaster that came out of the bottom, and you could move the coaster if you wanted to. Had a drawer, had an acrylic humidor, and it came with a humidifier, which is pretty much made up of foam. And it did have a cutter, and it has this ashtray with a couple of grooves here. Well, King's Palace actually came out with another model that I wanted to take a look at. And this one looked a little bit interesting because it had the same aspects as the other model, but the humidor is actually built into the base, and it looks like it's a wood humidor. So I thought, you know what? I want to go ahead and get this, and I want to go ahead and try and share this with you. So I actually got this box that came into the mail today, which I do believe is our ashtray set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this. And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what is shipped. Now, I have not actually seen one like this, but that one that they made earlier, or that I just showed you there, was actually really, really nice and works great for me. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot and let's see what's all in this box here. Let's see what they give us. Okay. So with the box open here, I'm going to go ahead and take out some of the foam. And here's what we have. It even comes with a little flagpole for the flag. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what this is. So comes in bubble wrap here. And I'm going to take this thing out, and we're going to go ahead and take a gander at this and see what this is all about here. So this is from King's Palace. I have not opened this yet. This is the first time I've opened it. It's actually pretty interesting. It does have a drawer here that already has the knob assembled on it, and it does have a cutter. It does have a coaster that comes out. It's a rather large coaster also. In fact, this coaster covers the whole entire bottom, just like the other one did. And it is magnet mounted, so it sticks right on there. It does have this ashtray, but what I wanted to do is take a look at the humidor here. Now, this humidor is approximately, let's go ahead and get the measuring out here. It's about 7 inches long by about 4 inches wide, and we're going to see pretty much how deep this thing is. So what can we say about this so far? Well, it does have a hygrometer, and I promise you I'm going to go ahead and test the accuracy of that. But it does have this little latch here, so I'm going to go ahead and open this if I can. And this is actually a very small but sufficient humidor. Comes with some instructions as to what to do and what you get. It tells you how to use it. Okay. And it also comes with it looks like it comes with a little plate in here. Here is the flag that's going to go on top of the flagpole thing. And they give you this little piece of wood here that you can go ahead and decorate for yourself, or if you want to paint something on here and use it as like a display item in the front. It smells pretty good too. And here is the humidifier. Now, most of these humidifiers come with a lot of humidors, acrylic ones, and so forth. But most of these are made out of foam on the inside. I am not a fan of that because over time, foam humidifiers actually will end up getting some mold. So if you want to use it, that's up to you. I would rather see these be included with acrylic humidors and things like this with the beads in it instead. But I don't typically use this. I typically throw those out and I throw like a Bovida pack or something. So what can I tell you about this? First of all, this is made of solid wood and it is attached to the bottom, so you cannot take this with you or anything. This is not cedar. And a lot of people that look for humidors are looking for cedar humidors. And to be honest with you, that's fine. One of the pluses I can tell you about this is that this is made of all solid wood in here. Okay. It is not lined over like particle board or something like that. Some glass humidors you will find they're really, really cheap, and some people think you're getting a deal on it, but it's actually a thin piece of particle board and they have a cedar line in here. Okay. Now, this does not have any cedar in it. However, it is made of solid wood, which is a good thing. What I would suggest, and what I am also going to do, is after I season this thing, put a couple cedar strips in there to get that smell in there. Okay. But this is solid wood. Does have the hygrometer on the top, which I need to test. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use a digital hygrometer. I'm going to throw it here, and I'm going to throw a Bovida pack in there, one of the 84s. And I'm going to let this set for 2 weeks. Okay. But I did want to show this to you, and I'll probably make a follow-up and show you whether or not this hygrometer is accurate or not. But it is made out of solid wood, and this will hold probably maybe about 10 sticks, maybe a few more, depending on the ring gauge. But it is very, very solid. It is all part of this base here. Like I said, all I want to do is test this out here. So it does have this drawer in the front. And you can go ahead and put maybe an extra punch in here, let's say, or an extra cutter if you don't want to just use the guillotine. The difference between this and this other previous model is there really isn't a place up here to go ahead and put your cigar cutter. It usually had a little slot, but who cares? You got a drawer. Leave it in the drawer. You can even put a lighter in there if you want to. Okay. But it does have this ashtray, and I think this ashtray does come out. It might not. I have to see if I can get this out. This is not coming out very easily, so it's very possible this might be a permanent thing. I don't know. So this is what the front of it looks like here. Like I said, you have your toaster on the bottom here. You have your drawer over here. And you have a little small mini humidor. So what can I really tell you about this as far as pros and cons? Well, first of all, one of the pros is the company. They made a really nice one that I really, really liked. That had the brown wood, that had the acrylic humidor. The other thing is that this humidor is not movable, so you would have to take this with you if you wanted to sit outside with it, let's say. However, if you have your own little lounge or little smoking area in your basement, let's say, it's a nice piece that you can sit and just grab a smoke out of here and sit and have a cigar. As far as the ashtray, like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the weather out there or something. I don't know if this is permanent. If it's not, then you're going to have to flip this over and you're going to have to dump that ashtray out, which might not be something that you might want to do. But I'm going to see whether or not that ashtray is glued in there or not. All the other ones, the ashtray was removable. Like I said, it might be. I just don't want to damage the wood here. But it actually it looks kind of nice, and it's just like a different model. And this little humidor, like I said, it's more like a conversation piece kind of thing. It does have the latch on it, and like I said, it is made of solid wood. So I'm going to throw a Bovida pack in here and let it season for a couple weeks, and then I'll probably let it set for a day with a Bovida pack in there. I probably won't use this at all. And I'm going to throw this in here also over a 24-hour period after the seasoning process. And then we're going to see how accurate this is. Okay. And I usually do that with any of the humidors that I have. So we're going to check back in a couple weeks and we're going to see what happens. You'll notice there's a little hole here. That's going to be for your flag. So there is the flag that comes with it, and I'll throw it through there for now. But it does have this little flag if that's something that you want to go ahead and use. Uh, maybe if you're a different, if you want to use a different flag, like maybe if you want to get like an Italian flag or something like that, you can stick that right in there. And just like I said, use this as kind of like a little conversation piece or something. Okay. As far as this little piece of wood here is, if you want to use that, there might be someone, or if you have kids or something, might want to go ahead and paint something on there and decorate it for you, or maybe you might want to do it yourself. It's totally up to you. Okay. So I will probably be back here in about 2 weeks, and I'm going to show you the results of this hygrometer versus the digital one and see whether or not it packs any, holds in some humidity, or how accurate this is. But like I said, if you do get any humidor that is wood, any kind of wood humidor, even if it's not cedar, you need to season this thing. Now, even though this holds about 10 to 15 cigars, they said, um, you should throw one Boveda pack in there for every 25. So I'm going to throw an 84 in here. I'm going to let it sit for a couple weeks. And then I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw like a 72 in here with a digital, and we will compare this, and we'll get back to you. But until then, um, it's a nice little piece. It's something that you have if you want to leave it in your living room or something, you can do that, and take a smoke out as you need it. Like I said, this humidor is all attached, and like I said, it's probably maybe about a foot long. This is the back view of it. It's about a foot long, and it's like a red cherry kind of color to it, but it's all very, very solid. And like I said, I don't think the ashtray is removable, but we're going to go ahead and see what this hygrometer says in a couple weeks. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll go ahead and see what kind of results we get. Okay, everybody, it's been about 2 weeks to the day, and we're going to check and see how this new humidor is going to react to our seasoning process. Now, right now, the built-in hygrometer is showing to be almost 70% as far as humidity is concerned. And what I did put in here for the seasoning process was a Boveda pack. If I can open this up, I went ahead and put in a Boveda pack of 84%, so that we can go ahead and season this. So this hygrometer here says about 70. This was an 84 in here. And yeah, some of it is a little bit dried up on the corner here. So it did soak some of that in. So what we're going to do now is, since we went ahead and seasoned it for a couple of weeks, we are going to put in a 72% pack. I mean, I know this is a little bit smaller, but this is good for usually about 10 to 15 smokes, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a digital hygrometer, and we're going to throw that in also. We're going to see whether or not that's good. Now, the reason why I wanted to wait a couple weeks is I don't want the wood to be absorbing this pack here. I didn't want the wood to absorb that. So we're going to go ahead and leave this in here overnight, and we're going to go ahead and check the digital hygrometer over here against the hygrometer here on the top. Right now it's going down to about 60. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it sit for yet another 24 hours. And we're going to come back and we're going to see how far this is off. And then we should be able to start storing some smokes in here. So we'll go ahead and take a look. If the digital hygrometer is accurate and this one is off, then I'll know what the offset's going to be whenever I go ahead and store some smokes in here. So we'll check back in another 24 hours and we'll see um, what we get for our readings. Okay, so 24 hours have passed since the seasoning, and we want to go ahead and take a look at the results of the hygrometer accuracy. If you take a look, it's about 60, it's probably about 62, 63%. We did put a Bovida pack in there, a 72, and we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what that Bovida pack as well as the digital hygrometer has in here for us. So opening this up, there is that Bovida pack, and here is the hygrometer, which is telling me it's currently at 63. So it seems like the hygrometer is accurate. This actually says 63 also, quite possibly because this is a little bit small, but there's not an awful lot in here. Not a lot of solution in here, so maybe a bigger one might be the thing. But based on the digital hygrometer and this, it seems like that this is actually pretty accurate. So what I'm going to plan on doing is I'm going to go ahead and maybe use a bigger one and leave that sitting there for about 24 hours, and I'll go ahead and check it. I won't actually do an update or anything as of yet, but I do want to give you my thoughts about what I think about this this little piece here. So what I think about this, first of all, the pros. It's actually a very nice looking piece. And it is nice that it has this little drawer here that you can go ahead and put leave your cutter in here, or if you happen to have a punch, maybe a lighter. And also what I always think is a big plus is having some kind of a coaster. And this magnetic coaster here will allow you to go ahead and actually move this coaster wherever you want, or if you want to just leave it right on the edge, you can. It does come with a little flag that actually sits in this little hole here. And this actually is made out of solid wood. And again, the solid wood, some people might think, well, you know what, it's not cedar, so it's not going to be any good. So some of the other pros, like I said, it's nice it has an ashtray and of course the groove for your smoke. What does seem to be another pro is that the hygrometer seems to be pretty accurate with the digital one. Now, what I would suggest is that if you would like more of a cedar smell to it, I would probably go ahead and get maybe some cedar strips and throw some cedar in here. Now, another pro, again, is that this is solid wood. So it's not like it's made out of like some cheap particle board or anything like that. I would probably get a couple of these pieces of cedar here and maybe lay them in the bottom or whatever you want to do, or line a little bit from the bottom up to the side so that you can go ahead and get that smell in here. I'm a big fan of that. I did not put the cedar strips in previously because I did not want them to soak up any of the humidification, but that's going to be a matter of up to you as to what you might want to do as far as that's concerned. But if you want to get some cedar smell in here, you can go ahead and put a couple of strips and go ahead and line that, and then you can go ahead and put your smokes in there. And then close this thing up. What I'm probably going to do is, since it's already seasoned, I'm going to go ahead and throw a 72 in here, which I think is going to be a little bit big, but I do want to make sure that it's pretty decent as far as that's concerned. I'm going to go ahead and put this digital one back in here. Usually the 72s are good for about 20 to 25 smoke size humidors. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that in here. and I'm going to check on this myself tomorrow. So, like I said, a lot of good pros. You know, it has the ashtray. This is attached on here, nice, elegant looking. The hygrometer seems to be accurate. It does have the drawer, as I mentioned, and it does have the coaster on the bottom. The other pro, it just depends, is it does come with the little piece of wood that you can go ahead and make your own nameplate. If you want to paint something on here or put stickers or something on here, you can leave that right in the front. There is a groove here that's along the front here. I don't know if that plate will actually stand there or not. Doesn't seem to be as wide, but you probably could maybe lay your cutter in here while you're in the middle of using this. And again, it does come with the little flag here that you can go ahead and put inside this post. And you can have that flag displaying for you if you want to. Now for the cons. The one con is this ashtray on this particular model does not come out. Doesn't seem to come out unless I misread something. A lot of the other ones, this does come out. So the only problem it's going to be with this is if I want to dump the ashtray, I'm going to have to turn this whole thing and dump it. If I have smokes in here or the drawer popping out, this ashtray does not seem to come out. I don't know if it was supposed to be made that way. Some couple of the other ones that I did. In fact, their other model, the one that I did that had the humidor, the acrylic one, the ashtray did come out. The other con, and this really isn't the fault of King's Palace, but a lot of these humidors do come with a humidification stick here that you just go ahead and put either distilled water or solution here. But these sticks, which are very, very common in a lot of acrylic humidors that you buy sets of, the inside of this actually has foam in there. And it's the same kind of stuff they use for plants. You know, when they put plants and stuff in there and they water them. This foam is going to end up getting some mold in there after a little while. So this really isn't a good idea. That's why I use the Boveda packs. But all in all, I mean, it is a nice design. It's very elegant looking. Maybe the other con is you may not want to carry this thing in and out if you're sitting outside. But if it's sitting in your home, I think it's a nice piece. Like I said, probably the only major con that I see is the ashtray is just stuck. But I am very surprised about the hygrometer. I have had a few travel humidors where this did not move at all. So that's a big plus for this, that this seems to be accurate. Like I said, I put a 72% pack in here, a bigger one this time. And I'm going to check that tomorrow. And I'm going to see whether or not that moves up to about the 70, around the 72% mark. So I'm going to leave that here. And I'll do it one more day. And we'll go ahead and take a look and see what we get tomorrow. Okay. So we'll check back in another 24 hours and we'll see that this hygrometer, which is now at about 62, we're going to see if that jumps up to 72 with a bigger Boveda pack. So we'll check back in another 24 hours. Okay, everybody, I said that I was not going to waste your time with waiting another 24 hours, but I like to be thorough. So here we are another 24 hours later, and I want to show you that the hygrometer is about 64% right now. And remember what I did, as opposed to yesterday, I just put a bigger Boveda pack of 72 in here, and this digital one says about 67. So it's probably about, you know, maybe 4% off or anything like that. And I also left the cedar strips in here too to give it some smell. So as I mentioned before, again, the pros and cons of this. The pros, it's actually nice. It's an elegant look. It has a drawer, comes with the cutter. It has the coaster that you can completely remove and set somewhere else, or if you want to leave it right on the edge that you can. The humidor is made of solid wood. It's nothing that's lined. and it's actually a nice little piece. The cons to it, as I mentioned, the ashtray did not come out on mine. Some of the other models, they all did, but this did not. So it's going to be a pain to kind of try and dump your ashes out without a removable ashtray. It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but you know. The other thing is too, with the humidor being attached or being part of the whole base, taking this to and from outside, if you're planning on it, may be a little bit cumbersome, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal, to be honest with you. Um, so again, if you're interested in this is a product from King's Palace. They got a couple other ones here. Remember, it does come with a flag, and there's a hole here. It does come with a plate, a wood plate that you can go ahead and tailor yourself. And it does come with one of these um, humidifiers that I told you that if it's made out of foam on the inside, pitch it, use a Bovita pack because foam can go ahead and um, produce some kind of mold after a certain amount of time. So this is from King's Palace. It's actually nice, and it's a nice, elegant piece. And if you're going to have it sitting in your home, more power to you. This again holds about maybe, like I said, about 10 to 15 cigars, depending on the size, the length or the width, I should say. This probably is about, I want to say it might be about 6 inches across, something to that effect. But check it out, see if you like it, and happy smoking, and we'll see you next time.